from PRX.
Friends beyond the binary, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I'm going to try to make your bedtime as smooth and sweet and as pillowy soft as a caramel or a caramel. While, you probably have to weather my humor versus wurthering it. It will be original and strange. And if you're already confused, if you're saying, what in the caramel, or what in the caramel, I guess what in the caramel smells good, sounds good, because it's time for Sleep With Me podcast to put you to sleep. And here's a couple ways I'm able to be here for you free twice a week. All right, everybody, it is time to talk about sleep phones, the most comfortable way to listen to Sleep With Me. They're little speakers or earbuds. They don't have earbuds poking you in your ears. These flat felt things in a soft, stretchy headband. So comfortable, way more comfortable than I am at describing their comfort. And you could get one with the Sleep With Me logo, Sleep With My Boyfriend, tons of other cool things. Sleep With Me branded sleep phones. The only place you can get them is by using our link. You have to use this link, sleepwithmepodcast.com/sleepphones. And then if you use Sleep With Me at checkout, you'll get $5 off your order. So you'll support the show and you'll be listening to it in comfort. They have 3 different versions, or 4 different versions now, one with corded and a bunch of wireless versions. So anyway, you listen to Sleep With Me. I also use it for running, on planes, hotel rooms. Unbelievably comfortable. Sleepwithmepodcast.com/sleep phones and use our promo code Sleep With Me at checkout for $5 off. That's sleepwithmepodcast.com/sleep phones. Thanks, everybody. Sleep With Me podcast is brought to you by Progressive. Are you thinking more about how to tighten up your budget these days? Drivers who save by switching to Progressive save over $700 on average, and customers can qualify for an average of 6 discounts when they sign up. A little off your rate each month goes a long way. Get a quote today at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. National annual average insurance savings by new customers surveyed who saved with Progressive between June 2020 and May 2021. Potential savings will vary. Discounts vary and are not available in all states and situations. All right, everybody, you heard me talk about Helix, the amazing mattress I sleep in. Well, Helix left the bedroom. They're making amazing sofas through their new company, Allform. And I just, what makes Allform so cool? I just found out I just expanded my Allform by 1 seat. I'll put a video up in the next couple weeks at sleepwithmepodcast.com/sponsors, but it's so easy to customize. Allform sofas have premium materials that are spill, stain, and scratch resistant. You get to pick the fabric, the sofa color of the legs, and the size and the shape to make sure it's perfect for you and your home. But then you can change it up so easily if you want to expand, if you move, because they have armchairs and love seats all the way up to an 8-seat sectional, so there's something for everyone. And that way, your Allform sofa can grow and change with you. It gets better because Allform sofas are delivered directly to your home with fast, free shipping. So there's no setting up delivery. There's no paying someone to assemble it. In fact, you don't even need any tools. Allform takes 3 to 7 days to arrive in the mail, and you can put it yourself together in just a few minutes. I love my Allform. It's a beautiful gray. Like I said, spill, stain, and scratch resistant, so I don't have to worry about koa or when I spill my coffee or my drinks. But if getting a sofa without trying it in the store sounds risky, don't worry about it. You get 100 days to decide if you want to keep it. That's more than 3 months. If you don't love it, they'll pick it up for free, give you a full refund. They even offer a forever warranty that's literally forever. So get over there. Start designing your perfect sofa at allform.com/sleep. And Allform is offering 20% off all orders for our listeners at allform.com/sleep. That's allform.com/sleep. Up to 20% off all orders. ALLFORM.com/sleep. Thanks, everybody. All right, everybody. It is time for the Sleepy Supporter Zone, the one part of the podcast I really do need you to hear so I can keep the podcast free for you and everybody else that listens, plus all those 450 plus episodes in the archives. And I want to thank Amy N., who supported Helix, let Helix know about her, got a brand new bed that's feeling so good on Amy's aching back. And if you support a sponsor, let them know about it. Please, on social media, send them a letter, give them a call, and then let me know about it at sleepwithmepodcast.com/sponsor so I can send you something nice. It is key, again, to keeping the show free for everybody. It's something to celebrate. We celebrate Amy, so thank you, Amy. The second part of the Sleepy Supporter Zone is you getting the support you need right now. There's links to resources you can connect with right now, including international resources in the show notes if you're having a tough time. And it's about supporting the members of our communities with our actions, saying Black Lives Matter, saying stop AAPI hate, saying, hey, let's be a part of positive change. And I want to thank Amy with an I, who recommended the Community Aid Network Minnesota. That's at CANMN.org. 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 It's a mutual aid coalition located in Loring Park, and they build mutual aid bonds with their neighbors, organize volunteers, and redistribute resources to ensure everyone has the means for dignified survival. You could support them, or if you're in Minnesota, you could volunteer for them. That's at CANMN.org. Check it out and be a part of positive change. And that is the end of the Sleepy Supporter Zone. Oh, Mystery Bard, a lot of people help out on the show. Who are they?
Chris Posty Poster Son sounds like an earful. Wrote the theme song. Edits episodes. Carl W. the Legend. Also edits episodes. Ashley, Kenny, Scotty, Jennifer. Runner. Eric and the team at Astound are on the website. I am the Mystery Bard. I do the lullabies, yeah. I do commissions at JonathanMann.net. I'll write a song for you. Any reason at all. You can tell me the story and I'll make it personal. You see the kindness shine straight on through when the listeners form their own Facebook group. Keith, Stacy, Sarah, Julie, and Jennifer. These are your moderators. Get support dear Scooter on Patreon. Buy the merch and support the sponsors. You can find anything you want at sleepwithmepodcast.com. And we're so proud that we could dance. Rusty Biscuit, Lois, Anna like banana. Leah does the transcripts.
Thanks, Mystery Bard. I'm at Dearest Scooter on Twitter and Instagram. That's where you could get a hold of me, or through the contact form on our website. What do you say we slow it down and get on with the show? Hey, are you up all night tossing, turning, mind racing, trouble getting to sleep, trouble staying asleep? Well, welcome. This is Sleep With Me, the podcast that puts you to sleep. We do with a bedtime story. All you need to do is get in bed, turn out the lights, and press play. And I'm going to do the rest. What I'm going to attempt to do is create a safe place where you could set aside whatever is keeping you awake. It could be thoughts, things on your mind that you're thinking about, the past, the present, the future, the unknown, the known, or somewhere, whatever. For most things whence in between for me. It could be anything emotionally coming up for you, that you're having feelings about thoughts or something else, or that are just there. It could be physical sensations that are coming up for you. It could be something that has changed your routine or your schedule or the temperature or your situation, or it could just be situational. It could be something else. Whatever it is, I'm here to try to take your mind off of it and keep you company while you drift off. I'm here to try to help, to send you off to sleep, to carry you off into dreamland, but mostly to be your friend in the deep, dark night. And that's what I'm going to do, is I'm going to send my voice across the deep, dark night. I'm going to try to use lulling, soothing, creaky, dulcet tones, pointless meanders, superfluous tangents. So I'm going to go off topic. I'm going to get mixed up. Yeah, then I'm going to, go back, use some filler words, Sleep with me. You listen for free, and we throw filler words in for free. So we fill the cart the rest of the way up. You say, you want a bag of filler words with that? I don't even say it when I'm checking you out. I say, checking you out of the imaginary grocery line. There's a job, holy cow, as an aside, anyone that works in grocery, especially over the past few years, I've been talking about how important you are, but that is the hardest job I've ever had. It was when I was 14 and 15, and I couldn't even, I was at the prime of my youth or whatever, and I couldn't do it. I didn't have the physical or I didn't have the acuity, I don't think. So, what am I talking about though? So if you're new, I'm so glad you're here. That was a teeny tiny pointless meander. But what I'm here to do, if you're new, is give you some info in a pointless meandering type way to demonstrate the show, but also to tell you more. Because if you're skeptical or you're doubtful or you're confused or unsure, you might be in the right place because this show is very different. It does take some getting used to. But if you've been through it like I have and a lot of the listeners have, you tried tons of things, other sleep audio, other gadgets, changing this, getting a cross breeze, quadrupling your fans, all that stuff. If you tried a lot of it and then not everything works and you say, man, I'm really fed up, but I'll give this podcast a try. Of course you're going to be skeptical. And if somebody told you about it, they said, oh, that podcast is great. It's not everybody's cup of tea, but it puts me to sleep every single night. You might not believe that naturally. So a couple of things to know. This podcast, unfortunately, does not work for everybody. Some people really gets their goat, as we say around here. And I always say, don't get any goats, please. It's been a few years since I've reminded everyone that goats, please don't get, on behalf of goats, don't get them. Goats, don't get any goats, because I'm not even sure if that's the phrase, but I can be irritating to some people. And even hardcore listeners said at first, didn't like the podcast. It made me feel like a nutmeg that was about to be grated. So give the show a few tries, but it does not work for everybody. But for hundreds of thousands of regular listeners, they said it took 2 or 3 tries to get used to the show. And it is free, so just kind of see how it goes. I do want to help you. It just, there's a couple other things to know that this show is just very different. One, it's a podcast you don't listen to. You just kind of barely listen, almost in a passive way. It's just on that border of passive background noise, but it is something you could listen to if you need to. So listening, sleep with me. Listening's optional. Filler words are free. Listening's optional. And I said some other stuff that I already forgot. Sleep with me podcast. So it's a podcast you don't really listen to. Also does not put you to sleep. I'm here to keep you company while you drift off. A little bit different than putting you to sleep or sending you to sleep. I'm here to make things feel less lonely and to give you something like a friend in the deep dark night. Bore friend, bore babe, bore cuz, bore sib, bore bestie, bore bruh. I'm here to be your bore bud, talking nearby. In a somewhat pleasant, but take some getting used to voice to keep you company and to let you know you're not alone. So that's those are two hurdles, we'll say. Get a podcast you don't listen to. What? Podcast is by definition something you listen to. Well, let's be honest. Just like sports, I kind of barely listen to a lot of things. Just like sports and authority figures, I say, oh yeah, go, oh yeah, tell me more. I thought it was Sleep With Me, the podcast that puts you to sleep. And I say, it does kind of put you to sleep, but it doesn't, it's more, it keeps you company while you fall asleep. So those are 2 things. The reason I make the show, and this is the most important thing I will say ever, you're important and your sleep is important, okay? You deserve a safe, restful place. And I wish I could provide that for every single person in the world. If I had that power, that would be amazing. But I hope I can provide it for you or start you on that path. Maybe you even graduate from the show. I've heard from a few people this past week that said, yeah, I got past what I was dealing with. I don't even listen anymore. Thank you. Or you could be a regular listener. People have been listening since I started the show. But the key thing is you deserve a safe, restful place. And I hope I can be a part of that for you so that I can help you bedtime be something maybe you feel neutral about. Maybe it's easier for you to fall asleep. And maybe you don't dread getting in bed. Maybe Sleep With Me becomes part of a wind down routine that works for you most of the time. That's what my wind down routine, it works for me most of the time. And makes me feel mostly good about going to bed. If I can accomplish that for you, for me, that's a home run or a touchdown or a goal. So that's one thing. And the other thing building on that is if you get the rest you need, your life's going to be better. Your life's going to be more manageable. It can improve. And that is really important. And I know it's easy to brush off or have, for me, my internal critics say ho-hum or hee-haw. And I'd say hee-haw, like that doesn't have anything to do with it. But, whatever it is, it's the truth. You deserve a good night's sleep. And the other side of it is I know how it feels. I might not know exactly what you're dealing with, but I've been through it. I've heard from a lot of listeners and a lot of people dealing with it. And underneath, there's just that feeling right? There's a couple different parts of it that I won't even point out. And I'm here really to counteract those, to be your friend in the deep, dark night. You know what I mean. So those are some things. Another thing that can really throw people off is the structure of the show. But the show is designed in a very specific way. And then, you can use it in off-label ways and adjust as you become a regular listener. But the show's structured. It starts off with a silly but poignant greeting. Friends beyond the binary, boys and girls, something else. And then I try to say something funny, like about caramels. That's the silly part. So you say, ideally you feel welcome in, you feel seen, and you say, the nature of the show is a little bit goofy. Then there's support, so the podcast can come out twice a week for free. Support for the podcast, sponsors and patrons, support for listeners, and support for the community. Then there's the intro, which is not part of the support. But when people, some people, they say, this just goes on and on and on. They say, the intro is a show within a show. It goes on and on and on for like 20 minutes of me trying to unsuccessfully describe what the podcast is in a concise way so that new listeners, they say, okay, I kind of don't get it, but I kind of almost get it. And regular listeners, they're reassured. They say, there's Scoots again doing a new intro every single time. But he doesn't really, he never solved the intro, the case of the contorted intro. So the intro introduces the show. It gives you like a familiar friend. You say, once again, there's my boar bud. But it also is supposed to give you some time to transition from your waking life to your sleeping life, whether it's a wind down routine, it's getting ready for bed, it's getting comfortable, it's doing something quiet or stretching. So the intro is the in-between time between when you're awake and ideally later when you'll be asleep. It eases you into bedtime. So that's the intro. Then there's more support for the show. That's where sponsors like their stuff. That keeps the show free. And then there's our bedtime story. Tonight will be a recap of the Great British Bake Off and of talking about Caramel Week or Caramel Week and getting mixed up and stuff like that. You'll say, okay, it was kind of familiar. I don't remember that episode, Scoots. And I say, well, good. Did you sleep right? Maybe you slept right through it. Getting Noel and Julian mixed up. I'll talk about, Prue's accessories, maybe if they're popping. I'll keep an eye. This is the only podcast that I know of right in this moment that tries to keep an eye out for alliteration and it doesn't isn't necessarily successful. That could be a segment if LeVar Burton ever listens to the show and there's like a full relaunch of Reading Rainbow. Maybe there could be a fake news segment, Eye on alliteration. And they say, which eye? I'd say, wow, you're brilliant. You really get that I don't get it, but say eye on alliteration. You see, Scooch, do you realize that's not alliterative? I say, no, I don't realize it. That's why I keep saying it. So we'll talk about Greatest British Bake Off. That was a spinoff. That one's, it's not bad. We've got a bunch of mediocre bakers here, and we're going to determine which one's right in the middle. That's Greatest British Bake Off. It's all, that's on ITV5 or whatever. So that could be, if you want to do that as a segment, it sounds like something the Muppets would do. Greatest British Bake Off. So anyway, I'm glad you're here. I really hope I can help you fall asleep. I work really hard on the show. I yearn and I strive. So thanks again for coming by. And here's a couple ways I'm able to do it for you for free twice a week. All right, everybody. Tonight's episode is sponsored by Shopify. Listen to that Shopify sound, because that is another sale for someone just like you and me, probably another entrepreneur, someone out there hustling, because that's the sound of another sale on Shopify, the all-in-one commerce platform to start, run, and grow your business. Shopify gives entrepreneurs the resources once reserved for big businesses, so upstarts, startups, and established businesses alike can sell everywhere, synchronize online and in-person sales, and effortlessly stay informed. Scaling your business is a journey of endless possibility, and believe me, I've seen Shopify in action. I was just buying something recently. I said, oh, wait a second, this is on Shopify. So many businesses use it, and I really love how Shopify has the tools and resources that make it easy for any business to succeed from down the street to around the globe. Just like Sleep With Me, Shopify powers millions of businesses from first sale to full scale. Reach customers online and across social networks with an ever-growing suite of channels, integrations, and apps, including Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Pinterest, and more. Gain insights as you grow with detailed reporting of conversion rates, profit margins, and beyond. It's more than a store. Shopify grows with you. This is possibility powered by Shopify. Just go to shopify.com/sleep. That's all lowercase for a 14-day free trial. You'll get access to Shopify's entire suite of features. If you got a business, if you got a side hustle, grow your business today with Shopify. Go to shopify.com/sleep right now. That's shopify.com/sleep. Make sure that sleep is in lowercase. So get over there. Thanks, everybody. Everybody, Scoots here. I'm talking about we're talking about Great British Bake Off, week 4. Collection 5, season or series, I'm not sure. First, I don't know, the Bruce first series, and maybe Nolan and Sandy's, but I get mixed up on that one. But it's Caramel Week here at the Great British Bake Off. I'm just letting the download happen. And, I mean, this could be my favorite week just because, oh, boy, do I love caramel. It starts with laying in the grass, and we'll go to the dialogue. Pillows, overhead, Caramel Week, teaser, jumping, Luxame, Cristal, grass going in wind, Liam, excellent, sign, proniferi. Not Grant well. Sophia, not going well. Kate, excited. Julia, tr.dy. 9 remaining bakers. It looks like I said breaths. Tickle. Tickle something. Millionaire shortbread. 2 laws. 15. Yan says OMG. Steven, go with it. Millionaire is 3 layers. This millionaire shortbread, I don't know if I've ever seen one on the show that made me more desirable of eating it. Decorator's Finn, bread not cheesy. 7th, I have not had. 3, 2, 1 shortbread. That's the ingredient. Like that's, I think Yan explains it. 3 flour to 2 butter to 1 something. Sugar, 3 flour, 2 sugar, 1 butter. Something like that. Yan will tell us in a minute when we roll the tape. Julia pecans. Mother-in-law does not like shortbread. Sea salt, more salted. Star Baker, double. Can you get the double? Why? Blame your mother-in-law. If not, blame your mother-in-law. James, pecan, Chicago. Americans love tray bakes. Maple caramel like the Windy City with some gold leaf on top. Tom, something, she-biz, but adding nas, salt, stand, ginger caramel. You pop in tin. Liam in a mold. Julia 2. Too fast to change Stephen. Bigger than most. Orange macadamia nut. A handful. Sophia size. 4 layers. Jaffa cake inspired. Laborious. Laborious. I'd say laborious. So laborious. I spelled it out. I wrote it out. Start in earnest. Caramel. Sugar. Heat. Monitor and wait for sugar to melt. Caramel. Looks like it says caramel chicken. Yes, suds, Delaney don't. Let it crystallize. Give over glucose or liquid glucose or water. Game over if it crystallizes or redo. Stay. Run, salted. Rum and lime. Panda's tears. This is very poetic, may I run through here. Liam, salt, sweet, is caramel for June. Peanut butter, caramel, hard peanut, caramel, balance it out. Oh, so this is Liam, and he does this peanut butter caramel that sounds delicious, and spoiler, it turns out to be delicious. I have to crack on like Laura, salted Santa Castle buttercream. Butter, next, Jerry Precision, temperature 115 or higher, not too long or it will harden. Yan has other ideas, something, thunder, ginger nuts, drive off of the moist water steps, shunning over and out of the oven, caramels, consistency, that's or something. My handwriting's just really bad on this one. That's why we have the tape to go to. Kate Bay, she uses bay leaf, salted, very Roman, wealth and status. Maybe bay is the answer. Off the heat, cool and catching on this hob. Sheen a sweat on Tom. Something piping layers, and chocolate layers. Tom chocolate, his chocolate split. Deep breaths, low on time. Final touches. Full train. Taking on the hot in here. Barnaby stencil. They're not only busboys could say that. Platter, time is up. So Kate, like the top, holds its shape spot on, aromatic, love it. James, doughy textures, not there, too much pecan, unpleasant. Julia, love the shortbread, nutty, but too salty, the caramel. Yan, like the flavor, but the toffee-like texture's not right. Sophie, these aren't identical. 2-issue, orangey, but dry, soft, silky. Test answers. Stephen, identical, biscuit thick. I don't like the flavors. And toaster, taste, too bitter, but Prue loves it. So this is a little bit of a debate between Paul and Prue. Stacy, so pretty neat. Flavors, strong. Don't like to run too much chat. Yan, time problem. Flour great. Flavor's great. Not finished. That was Tom, though. Liam, he does his in his Tetris theme, even. Nice, simple, neat peanut butter set, nice balance. Love it. He love the flavor. He gets a handshake, high fives. Oh my days, Liam says. Crazy, crazy. Kate says something. Faces. All right then. Yan's a little sad. They get a bunch of zooms on Yan, like when she's feeling like down. So I don't know about that. So let's see. Let's turn our subtitles on. Tape's rolling. Can you guess what I'm thinking? I'm thinking we would love to be flying things with wings to smell this caramel. It's heaven. It's caramel week. And then we have the teaser, Kate dancing, people moving, luxurious layered signature. The bakers go Dutch in the second thing, and then the showstopper. And then we get the intro, skip the intro. Great British Baking Show, Moss, everybody moving in. Liam's excited. He loves caramel, and he's good at it. Sophie's been practicing, so we'll see. Aprons go on. Kate, it's all caramel. And Sophie said, the complex challenges, exhale. We get a zoom. This is the first time I noticed the different colors of the mixers. There's a maroon mixer. That was some of the handwriting I couldn't read, or maybe I say it later on. Millionaire shortbreads, 2 hours and 15 minutes to create. On your marks, get set, bake. Everybody starts their baking. Ann says, OMG. Caramel, we got to work it out. You got to be careful, though. Don't lose your fingerprints. Beautiful soft shortbread, gooey firm caramel, Paul says, and thin chocolate coating. There's nothing that sounds better. You could put coffee or an orange. Prue's looking for something special she's never had before. And everybody starts out there making their 3, 2, 1. 2 butter, 1 sugar. So 3 flour, 2 butter, 1 sugar. Checking the nuts. That's Julia's pecan salted caramel millionaire shortbreads, golden syrup. And I learned more about that kind of golden syrup. If you add something like that, it keeps it from crystallizing, some sort of glucose. Salted caramel, but keep it under control. Star Baker going for a double. Good luck. And then James, pecan shortbread. Inspiration from Chicago, like we said, where he lived. And back to the American roots, Windy City. Maple syrup. American glamour with the gold, brushed gold. He's going to put some bling on top. And they actually get some on his teeth, and Sandy has a laugh about that. And then Tom's working his butter. He's like Scottish, so he should have an advantage, he says. He's putting some almonds in there. Stem ginger, caramel, chopped almonds, white chocolate, feathers even. Tell you one thing, Tom's hair looks good. Everybody puts the stuff in the oven because you got to let it cool. Some people are using molds, like I said, Liam and Julia, I think, or cake tins to have a little bit more even thing. I like that. Separate. Steven's weighing his out and then using cake tins. I'm going to have to, maybe I'll do it this way. I'd like to make these. And Steven's have coffee liqueur, quite substantial. 2 hands worth of stuff. There's a lot of double entendres there as Sophie rolls out hers, her shortbread. And she's doing 4 layers, orange juice, orange zest, Jaffa cake inspired. And No loves Jaffa. Circles, I'm going to cut it out and put in these acetate collars, little acetate collars. Could be some leakage. Maybe that'll prevent it. And things go in the oven. People are baking in earnest. Caramel begins with sugar and heat. James says, oh boy, the pressure's on, eh? Tom's watching. Everybody's, so this is when the caramel's getting made. You got to keep an eye on it. Low and slow, though, is what Prue said. But then caramel chicken, that's like the game if you're not monitoring enough. Yan says that. So you can't let it crystallize, which unfortunately, spoiler, happens to everybody in almost every part of the competition, except for the people that really are excelling, like Liam. But yeah, glucose, golden syrup. Seems like people are cooking it over high heat, and then they have to redo it. Stacy's rum salted, lime zest, chili. She's using a spiced rum. Paul takes a hit of it. Bruce says, hold on, cowboy. Rum and lime together could be good. And let's just see what happens. Liam's got his peanut butter one. He does this for his friends when they come over. He said, every time his friend comes, there's a jar of caramel in my fridge. He's been in my house a lot. Jamie. Peanut oil, peanut butter. He makes his own peanut butter, too. Man, I'd like, this must be fun. Late nights at Liam's would be fun. Eating millionaire shortbreads. Okay, 1 hour left, crack on. And everybody's getting theirs. Cream's going in, and then we're sticking it up. Hot like lava, buttercream, malted sugar. Then it gets even harder. So people are mixing their cream in to get it, then leaving it to boil. And maybe leave it 10 minutes, Julia says. Butter can't be chewy. But you don't want it oozing out. You got to heat it to a precise temperature, or it'll be 115, maybe, James says, maybe higher. Don't overheat it or overcook it, though, because then it'll harden. Everybody's stressed. Got to get it up. Yan's, she's right at, she said, I'm not going to use a thermometer. I watched how much steam is coming off. Little Red's ginger and nuts shortbread. And she has a point, because that's how you kind of make waffles, too. You watch the steam as the moisture coming off, and that, when it lowers to a certain point. Everybody's shortbreads come out. They're going in the fridge or the freezer. Caramel consistency. That's a nice one. Oh, boy. Liam's nom, nom, nom. Kate's putting a little bay tree from home right in there. She got a bit of a haircut, I think, or maybe the tree did. I guess the tree did. That's gold leaf, walnuts. Bay is a symbol of wealth and Rome. So if the caramel's too sweet, maybe bay is the answer. We'll have to wait and see, but be careful. And it goes back on. Steven's cooling his caramel, chilling it down. Liam's using a baking tray. People are going to have to pipe it. Tom's sweaty sheen. He could be a sheen, though, Tom. He has that quality of hair, like a Martin level. William's piping his. Oh, boy. I hope Liam owns someplace I could visit one day. Let's see. Kate's putting some walnuts, or Julia. Somebody's putting walnuts in theirs. Everybody's trying to get theirs to set, and then they're trying to get their chocolate while their caramel's cooling, pacing around 24 minutes. A lot of pacing and cooling. Sophie's cooling her caramel on the floor in ice, rapidly running out of time, and then trying to get the chocolate on top with different methods, scoopers, bloopers, and more. How do they get this stuff? I mean, can't imagine. I'd be doing dishes for days. Tom's chocolate splits. He's trying to breathe. Steven's low on time because he's still got to get his in the freezer. Liam's running to the freezer. On the clock, looking around. 10 minutes left. We're quickly running out of time. Oh boy. What's going to happen? Full tray. Oh, Tom isn't even going to have time to cut his. And everybody else is taking theirs out of their molds. It looks like, some of them came out really smooth. Liam had a silicone mold, so his popped out. Yan's also decorating them. And Noel says, you're like Banksy. She goes, I'm not Banksy. He goes, that's what Banksy would say. And they're setting up the table and breathing. And Liam's got 16. Tom's only got 1 or 2 sheets of shortbread. And now it's judgment time. Kate's up first. And everybody's having it. Spot on with the flavors. Aromatic bay. Then James, there's difference in the sizes. Quite doughy, like we said. Textures aren't there. You got a texture short. It's a little unpleasant, Bruce says. Caramel's budging out of Julia's, but it's all equal. I love the shortbread. Very nutty. Nice edge. Crunch, but the caramel's too salty. Yan. Like the picture on top. Is that Prue or the Queen? Like the toffee. The flavor was more toffee-like. Bruce says the texture's not right. Biscuit's thick and coarse. Julia, they're not identical. Oh, that's not Julia. Sophie. 4-layer job. That made it tougher. Orangey. Base is dry. The soft, silky caramel. Like the orange, it works together very good, but they look hideous. Steven, they look identical, but your biscuit's pretty thick, dude. So they take a bite. Paul says, I don't like the flavors, don't like the texture. But Brew loves the caramel, the bitterness in the orange and the macadamia. That mitigates the caramel for her. Stacy's, they say these are very pretty and neat. They're heart-shaped. Flavors are strong. Rum comes through. It's a grown-up taste, but I don't like the rum flavor. And Paul doesn't like the thickness of the chocolate. Tom's is incomplete. A little time problem. 18, a splodgy mess. Crackly top like that. Flavor's great. Caramel's not the right texture. Too soft, not finished. And Liam presents his Tetris board. Levi, did that say Levi? Shortbread. Maybe that's who he's playing against. Or maybe it's, anyway, I can't. 2-1, like her proportions, sick. Can you eat that much caramel? He goes, oh, Paul says, oh, yeah. And peanut butter really adds a nice balance and flavor. Handshake, get big clapping, high five to Sandy. Everybody's happy for Liam. That's wild. Paul Hollywood shook my hand because I'm crazy. Kate's like, that went good. She does a little dance. Sophie, a little too complicated. Tom's nervous. So is Yan, and she's disappointed. It's hard for me. I don't know. I really care about Yan. Then we see some ducks and some ducklings, and the ginger cloth. Prue says that she says why she picked what she picked. Everybody's watching. A technical chosen by Prue. Caramel trickery. We're looking for a Dutch treat. Sandy makes a joke about that. And they head off. It's stroopwafel, which I love stroopwafels. I love a caramely, cinnamony flavor. Everyone's laughing. You got an hour and 45 minutes on your mark. Get set, bake. Everybody gets to work. Stroopwafel, James says, never heard of them. They're kind of, well, let's give it a crack. I don't know. Everybody says, Paul says, why stroopwafel? Well, maybe our bakers have never made one. And they don't have any yeast. If you overcook it and make it too brittle, caramel should be thin and stretch. They're really good. Holy cow. I bought them in bulk last year. 12 stroopwafels. Let's see my notes. Table talk. Yeast. There's yeast, though. That's a rare thing. Don't make it grainy. That's the key. Tom said, I read the instructions 12 times. Yeast, cinnamon, and sugar. Washed hair. Washed hand like pancakes. Have to knob, butter, sugar. Oh, you have to knead it. It's caramel, butter, sugar. No template. Slow or grinding crust. Tell of smarter caramel and leg waxing. But you gotta melt the sugar slowly, very low and slow, or it'll be grainy. Second batches. A lot of people have to do second batches because it's grainy. Rark, no one happy. Lots of fingers on the faces. Julie does bump, bump, bump. Like she's good for sound effects. 13 balls. She only get one practice. 2 minutes, maybe to put it on the waffle maker. Sandy helps Liam with his tongs. He can't get them unlocked. How to cut. Overdone. Burndy. Flowers and bees. Noel, we'll get to that. Something. Cut the scene. Oh, so there's falls on bush. So we have this scene with Noel who goes to make stroopwafels. This is the first time I've seen this. I didn't really have it where he goes on location. Sticky hand-shaped gloopy. Molasses or dark treacle. 25,000 a day. So he goes to the stroopwafel factory. It's a national cookie of Holland. He does the assembly, not good, put it in a bin. If I was here full time, then we go back, everybody's stressed. Yen is making her third time at the Carmel. Amsterdam, that was quick. Here's a no, let's go back here. He talks about Rucker Hauer, biscuit equivalent of Rucker Hauer, Blade Runner, racing. Oh, no, that's Rucker Hauer. Let's do stroopwafels. He falls over a bush. We go to Gouda, which also makes not just cheese, but stroopwafels. 1784. It was poor Perskin's biscuit with stale bakery layovers stuck together with caramel, which has evolved into a delicacy. Vandenberg has been making them for a long time. They got a big hot waffle maker. 200 degrees. They put a puck of dough on there. Right, and they do use a machinery to do it, but Noel's doing it the old school way. You take it out, cut it open, put the caramel in, and that's a secret. Molasses, dark treacle, sugar, butter, cinnamon. Good. And how many of these do you make a day? About 25,000 waffles. Well, Noel says I could be here for a while helping. And stroopwafel is kind of, rags to riches tale. Then we go back. Everybody's cooking their waffles and worrying about it, of course. Trying to get it out, trying to get them cut open. I don't know. No one's still waiting. Stress. 5 minutes left. The cutting part, I would never be able to make one because I could never cut one of those in half. They're too thin. I can't do that like kind of straight. I'm not good at that kind of thing. Isn't it caramel, grainy, Jens? Yeah, having high heat, low heat, groaning. 30 minutes left. Amsterdam, that was quick. People still trying to count out how many they do. Multitask. People feel like, they're always rushing. Got to get it right. Do this, laying out, looking good. Time is up. Sad bakers, troops, and we need your stroops. Fin but flexible or something. Firm but flexible. That's another alliteration moment. People that feel like theirs are gross. Sophie, right? Okay, so these are the judges. Sophie, right texture, caramel, gooey, or grainy. James, texture good, very grainy. Tastes nice, though. And overdone, dry, grainy sugar. Liam, too much filling, grainy. Stephen, too much filling, grainy. Stacy, Great waffle, perfect. Maybe a little grainy. Kate, same problem. Tom, grainy. Julia, she was the last one. They say, I pray. Oh, this is the worst one yet. Overbaked mess. So it went Julia 9, Ann and A 7, Stephen 6, Kate, then Tom, Sophie 3, Liam, second James, first Stacy. And she goes, geez, well, I succeeded when everybody else failed. So I would have been the best of the bad bucket or something. So then there's like talking heads about stress. Tom, Ian. There's another pause on Ian. Up, love, long, nice give. Down to stars. A fourth star baker. Who's going to be? Total triumph. Table talk, steady. Stacy could be star baker. Tom's in trouble. James, Yan. I saw finally a maroon and then a blue mixer. Shortstop, stroop waffle, coconut cake, powerful, mad, skills, spun sugar. So yeah, for the showstopper, they have to make a coconut cake with sponge or caramel cake with featuring some spun sugar. Sensitive subject, another alliteration. Oh, there's Tom. I got to perform tomorrow. Julia, it's the worst I've done so far. Extra pressure. Ann says, never give up, never surrender. They do a long pause on her thinking and looking up. Everybody goes into the tent. Who's going to leave? Who's going to be stars? Question. Millionaire, shortbread, we had a lot of triumphs, but the technical challenge, a lot of failures. But Stacy's doing okay. Liam's doing good. Kate's steady horse, Sandy says. She pulled off a great showstopper. She could be star baker. So she's in a good position, Paul says. And who are we worried about? Tom, not his finest week. James is having some difficulty, and Yan, but she did do that Banksy stencil. Oh, Yan has a greenish mixer. So those, I guess, are the three mixture colors. For the first time, I'm noticing even more color, and that doesn't even include the shirts everybody's wearing. 3-layer cake. It's a showstopper. So powerful decoration, mad skills on the caramel front, spun sugar. We're crazy about the spinning. 3.5 hours go. Or, get set, bake. Don't make it too sweet. Flavor, cake, dance. I don't know. Oh, this is like caramel icing, caramel in the fillings. Caramel in the decoration. But yeah, Sandy says, Peru says, don't make it too sweet to distract your palate. And Paul says, yeah, make a beautiful cake, a cake that dances. We go to James. He's using brittle, praline, a little toffee taste, nutty caramel cake, amaretto, peanut praline, honeycomb, sugared hazelnuts, sesame brittle, a lot of sugar work. And then he's got to dip his nuts in leftover sugar that after he spins it, Sandy says, okay, take it easy. Liam, big sugar, black treacle, all the good stuff. White layered ginger caramel cake, white chocolate buttercream, a praline, like this caramel drip. He says, man, this is a trendy thing. Salted caramel drip on the sides. So you're going to be impressed. He's very confident. Kate's using fruit. She's cutting up some toffee apple cake, appley flavor, caramely with a treacly flavor for bonfire night. Toffee, buttercream, dates, and I got to bake a good cake, but make it look good. Tom's using fruit. He's making a hummingbird cake, banana and pineapple. And he goes, normally I do this cupcakes and muffins. It's going to have a bird's nest, passion fruit cream, pecan praline. And then they say, well, where's the caramel going to be? And Sandy says, leave him alone. And Tom says, I got to get this right. And then they were saying, do I have enough caramel? And I say, no offense, Tom, it's a caramel week. It's caramel cake. So, yeah, you got to get it right. Okay, then everybody's trying to get their sponges in the oven. Sensitive subject. Let me run through my notes. Let's see. Sensitive subject, James, Liam. Cinnamon, spice caramel drip we talked about. Spice, Kate, fruit toffee, bonfire night, who gets fireworks. Tom, fruit, a sponge, a hummingbird, banana, pineapple, passion fruits. Not enough caramel. Sandy scolds Paul. Tom stressed. Nest time. Get sponges in the oven, everybody. Ian is doing a tiger strip of orange and chocolate. So her cake will actually have tiger stripes in a caramel rainforest. It's ambitious, but I can't hold back on the showstopper. Then we have an in-oven sequence, every cake going in the oven. Sophie, caramel, something, Italian buttercream, a bird's nest, a hazelnut sponge, 4 kinds of caramel. Don't run out of time. Stacy is doing the life cycle of a butterfly. I've done it before, like 3.45 hours. So as long as my spun sugar does not fall over. Then we see some stuff coming out of the oven, people using toothpicks. James has sinkage in the middle. So then Tom has so flat bad cakes. So 2 people have to rebake. They're going to rebake Tom and James halfway through. Caramel on the go. First caramel. Julia sponge sugar dare. Dramatic, I can't read my handwriting, but we got a good one here. Dare dramatic decoration. Something alliteration. James puts number 2 in the oven. Stephen, caramel stars. Caramel stress. He's doing a caramel crown cake, red velvet. He loves the royal family. That's his second family. He says crown jewels, lots of ice, water baths. We see peanut brittle, macadamia brittle, almond scone. Back on track. Time still not what I would like. Half hour. No run for Emma. Toffee apples. Caramel molds and sponge sugar. Like sugar string shape like old hair. Sugar, spice, sponge sugar. Lots of drizzle. Planning pipe ladle. Ladle, like different ways. A pumping pipe or ladle, how people are spinning their sugar. Sugar in the hair. I'm going to replace my hair with sponge sugar. Noel says we could sell sponge sugar ponytails for $3.99. Cake's cool. We're icing time. Lion road edges. Smooth finish. Stem seasonal Stacy, not right. Kate, apple from fireworks. Julia, caramel is stuck on her ladle. Stacy says, do not move. 5 minutes coming together sequence. Lots of caramel. Time is up. Time to judge. Paul and Prue. Okay, let's run through the tape for a minute. We got Yan making her cake. Not as fast as she can, but it looks tasty. Oh, boy. Animals of the Rainforest caramel cake. Praline forest floor. I'm ambitious. Sometimes I see it in my head, but then I got to, I can't hold back. James puts his cakes in the oven. He also had a coffee, I think, or tea with cream. Somebody has a watch so they can watch the time everywhere. Sophie's trying to juggle multiple jobs. Italian meringue, buttercream. Oh, that's what I got the handshake on. So I'm going to do that again. Bird's nest caramel cake, sponge sugar nest. She's got some eggs with caramel on the inside. And I say, okay, are you going to overcomplicate things? And Stacy's also doing a lot of caramel work, theme life cycle of butterfly, caramel glazed coffee cake, ode to a caterpillar, and molded sugar. That's quite intricate. She goes, well, I practiced it. 3.5 hours, bang. Just don't fall over. Cakes are out of the oven. Some people do good, but Tom and James, not so much. So I think they got to redo it. Too much baking powder, too much fruit. I don't know. Bad cakes. So Tom and James are trying to encourage each other. Halfway through, eyes open wide. Okay, 300 grams of sugar, caramel, decorations, caramel for my shards, and sponge sugar. Julia's sponge sugar dome, poppy seed sponge, caramelized walnuts, bitter sugar crystallized on the first run. Maybe I'm not supposed to stir it. James begs his cakes, or Tom does, to be okay. Steven's working on his caramel to make sure it's right. Ice water bath. His is definitely looking like crown jewels, raspberries, and my second family, the royal family. So, Your Majesty, I present to you the crown jewels and sugar. Everybody's cool, trying to cool stuff. And they're starting to make their pecan, their different nuts and different things. Macadamia nut brittle, sesame seed brittle, praline, almond praline trees. Kate's doing different colors. So Stacy says, that pea soup? She goes, no, excuse me. She goes, I need a jug. Does anybody have a jug? He goes, I found that in a bin outside. James feels like he's back on track with his second cakes. Tom's still not where he wants to be. Bees and flowers, half an hour. Showstopper, nuts caramelizing, trying to get these butterflies and sponge sugar, toffee apples, egg molds. Everybody's working hard. Sponge sugar's like a patissier chef kind of thing. And everybody's trying to do it in different ways. Spinning it in the air, spinning it over dolls, making it in their hands, like hair full of hairspray, plumbing pipe, ladle, spinning it with, I don't even know. It's interesting to watch. And not my thing. That'd be too messy. I'd have to do that somewhere else. But yeah, and then we joke about filling your hair in with that kind of stuff. Ponytails, $3.99. Sugar sponge ponytails. 10 minutes to go. Cakes are cool. Let's ice them. Icing starts to look good. Things are coming together. Sophie says I could be a good plasterer. Liam's getting his drips going. And Sophie's getting a chocolate finish on hers. Steven's like, oh boy, this has got some undercurrents. Stacy's caramel flowed a little bit too much. Didn't stay on the sides like Liam's did. Kate's making candied fireworks from sponge sugar. Julia's sugar stuck on her ladle. Caramel's so bad. Yeah, everybody's trying. This is total, and you don't know how this is edited, but there's 5 minutes left. Everybody's moving, trying to get everything put together, trying to get it decorated and done. There's gigantic glops of caramel on Yan's cake that look delicious. And they say, okay, time's almost up. Everybody's doing their finishing touches, and time is up. Everybody's breathing, looking. Some people are frowning, putting their hands on their hips. We go outside. Time for the caramel. Time for Paul and Peru to weigh in. So Sophie goes, elegant, like the glaze, what's not to like, the eggs, the caramel. She's breathing deep. Thank you. Humidity kind of messed up some of the caramel because the nest was bigger, but the glaze looks good. And hazelnut, I like the hazelnut chocolate, light buttercream, like silk. Eggs are amazing with salted caramel inside. Paul bites an entire one. Prue's like, still, how can you eat so much caramel? It's a skill. James's cake, nutty cake, too simplistic. All the extras are on the side. They're not part of the cake. And they say flavor's lovely. Wow, caramel taste. I like the brittle. Overmix the sponge, though, a little rubbery. Liam goes next. Looks appetizing. Love the drip effect. It works. Great color on the cake. Good contrast. And Bruce says, wow, gingery, treacly, lovely. Texture's good. You should be proud of yourself. Stacy. Love the colors, love the butterflies, wonderful. Icing on the cake's too thin, though. Paul says it ran off. Looks slimy. Stacy almost cries. Chocolate cake texture's perfect. My big issue is the finish. Julia goes, she's like, shards are nice, thin. Walnuts are, she has her hands behind her back, nervous. Love the taste of the cake. Beautiful. Poppy seed works. Elegant cake. Ticked all the boxes. And her cake is definitely the most showstoppery. Her and Steven, I guess. Cinder toffee, caramel river, original. Animal print in the cake. Clever. Sponge is a little tough. And love the flavors, though. Just overbaked. Stevens looks absolutely amazing. Doesn't even look like a cake. It looks like some sort of mirror glaze, shiny. They go in, crunch it up. Looks good, but stodgy, solid, disappointed. Looks great, but the taste isn't. Tom, spun sugar looks good, but you got a lot of flowers on here too, and it's a caramel cake. As Bruce says, it should be caramel, not flowers. And Brew makes this face. She's gluey, underbaked, no crumb. Everybody's in shock. They must even said harsher stuff because Paul says, "How'd you manage to make this with the ingredients?" And Tom says, "Well, normally I make cupcakes like." And Bruce says, at least there was some passion fruit in there. They go to Kate's cake. It's clever, clear, bright. Love the toffee apples. Can't wait to try it. Bruce says, wow, when the cake comes out. Apple flavor, good and light, beautiful, delicious. Cream cheese frosting is good. Another level, masterful. Sensational, well done, very well done, thank you. We see the ducklings outside. We see rain. Okay, what did the table talk? What do you think of the skills? I'm impressed. Kate did well. I asked her for a recipe because I got to know how she made it. Liam did good, spiced ginger. And Tom's in trouble. Fell for him because he just had an off day. James' cake was dry. Didn't put enough caramel on the cake. Sweets on the side. And they say, Paul, how are you feeling? You ate so much caramel. He goes, yeah, I need a bag of crisps after all that. We see the rain. They come outside. Everybody's twiddling their thumbs. Well done. Caramel Crusade. Star Baker. Pretty fine shortbread. And the Showstopper produced a cake so banging, the judges wanted the recipe, sent off sugar fireworks. Star Baker's Kate. Everybody's big smiles. Julia kisses her. Kate covers her face and laughs. Sandy says, great, I get to announce who's leaving. somebody does have to go, and the person we're saying goodbye to is Tom. I'm sorry. Everybody, some tears get shed. Tom gets big hugs. I'm sorry, unlucky. Because, yeah, I mean, I had a bad day. Everyone else said you're good, so I feel like it's fair. Bruce says, poor Tom, he made a mess of things. Unlucky. James says, I need a beer. Stacy said, Liam almost made it to the top. Liam says, so close. Almost there. Kate's very happy. I'll be happy all week. Cake was Bruce says it's the best cake I've ever eaten, I think, in my life. And she calls her mom, hey, Mom, I got Star Baker. You believe it? And her mom, that's how the episode ended. Let's just run down my notes. So, James, simplistic, external, not part of cake flavor, lovely, overminded, rubbery. Lydia, which there's no Lydia in there. While hybrid gamer looks good drip. Oh, this is Liam. Works, great color contrast, gingery, treacly good. Be proud. Stacy, love colors, butterfly, icing, too thin, slimy, delicious, texture perfect, baked well. Julia, poppy seed, caramel cake, smile, shards, Nico, to thank, hands behind back, nerves, love tasted cake, ticked all the boxes. Yan, fantastic, original, very choice, a little tough, love the flavors, overbaked. Steven, like something out of Game of Thrones, so shiny, crunch, look at that, but too stodgy, disappointed. Tom, quite basic, cinder price should be caramel, centerpiece should be caramel. Prue shakes her head on Tom. How did you take all these great, they really are hard on him. Then Kate, so many colors. Wow. Wonderful apple flavor. Delicious. Another level. Masterful. Ducklings rain. Table talk. Best cake. Asked for recipe. Tom, no good. Felt for him. Paul, feeling like he had too much sugar. Rain. Wait. Everybody sitting up straight. Noel, Star Baker, set of sugar fireworks, Kate, Sandy, Tom, so sorry, tears, hugs, talking heads, totally felt for Tom, made a mess of it, off day, James needs a beer, Liam, oh my days, so close, Kate, has a smile, the best cake I've ever eaten in my life. Brew, many mommy cheers, and the episode comes to an end. All right, good night, everybody. I'll talk to you soon. All right, I want to thank everybody that signed up for our referral program recently. Louisa, Nick, Mark, Elena, Faith, all signed up in the past few days. And let me see who else has gotten some. Lois Anna got a new referral. Rowan's got a few new referrals. Thank you. Maggie, thank you. Maids, thank you. Let's see who else got a recent referral. Ziggy is still bringing in the referrals. Keith, Annalise, Haley, thank you. Thanks, everybody. Lorette, Sophia, Debbie, Eden, thanks for the referrals. Kate, thank you for the referrals. Marigold, Goldie, thank you. And Mika, thank you. Thanks to everybody for supporting the show. We're able to be here as a free podcast because people that support the sponsors, support the show on Patreon, and those people that take the time To refer people to podcasts is a huge help. And here's a couple ways to tell you about the referral program or some of the other sponsors. Thanks. All right, everybody, it's time to talk about tonight's sponsor, Air Doctor. And you know it's the wintertime. We're going to be spending a lot of time indoors. Don't you want the air you're breathing, that your family is breathing all day long? Don't you want the best quality air possible? You know, whether it's stuff coming in from the outside or Koa, you know, she's scratching her fur, her dander, cooking, whatever's coming in through the heater vent. That's why I have the Air Doctor running 24/7. It brings me peace of mind. You got to check out Air Doctor. You breathe 20,000 breaths per day, and Air Doctor filters out dangerous contaminants so your lungs don't have to. Air Doctor uses an ultra HEPA filter that's been independently tested to remove 99.99% of tested bacteria and viruses, plus allergens like pollen, dust, and smoke. And in a recent independent study, the Air Doctor 3000 series was even tested and proven to remove 99.97% of live SARS-CoV-2 virus in a test chamber. And while no air purifier can prevent the transmission of COVID, it provides me and my family with added peace of mind knowing it's backed by science and rigorous third-party testing. The Air Doctor captures particles as small as 0.003 microns in size. That's 100 times smaller than the HEPA standard. It captures a wide range of pollutants, including odors, gases, and chemicals like formaldehyde. From stinky gym clothes to chemical cleaning products, Air Doctor is always on call to keep your air fresh and clean. And it's powerful. It's powerful enough to circulate the air in a 630 plus square foot room 4 times an hour. You know, I love my Air Doctor. It lets me breathe through my nose. It lets me breathe easy. I know I wake up feeling more refreshed than my daughter does, or whether I'm working from home or she's studying at home. Especially during the winter season, it's offering us an extra layer of protection. A professional quality HEPA air purifier is recommended by leading medical experts as an effective way to reduce airborne germs and viruses and protect your home. Make sure to get an Air Doctor to keep you and your family safe this winter. Air Doctor comes with a no questions asked 30-day money-back guarantee, so if you don't love it, just send it back for a refund minus shipping. And just go to airdoctorpro.com and use the promo code SLEEP, and you'll receive a 35% discount on their classic Air Doctor 3000 purifier. That's right, 35% off, but only if you go to airdoctorpro.com and use that promo code SLEEP. Thanks, everybody. All right, everybody, it's Scoots here. This podcast is sponsored by BetterHelp Online Therapy. BetterHelp wants to handle some of the stigmas around mental health. You know, for example, some people might think therapy is for someone else, for other people, but utilizing therapy doesn't mean something's wrong with you. It means you recognize that all humans have emotions, and we need to learn to understand them, not avoid them. You know, we've been taught that taking care of our mental health shouldn't be a part of our everyday life, but that's a misconception. You know, we take care of our bodies by stretching, exercise, mindfulness, and by going to the doctor, eating well. So focusing on and investing in the health of our minds is just as important. And some might think you should wait until things are really tough until you try therapy, but that isn't true. Therapy is a tool to utilize before things get bad, and it can help you avoid those lows. BetterHelp is customized online therapy that offers video, phone, and even live chat sessions with your therapist, so you don't have to see anyone on camera if you don't want to. It's much more affordable than in-person therapy, and you can be matched with a therapist in under 48 hours. So give it a try and see why over 2 million people have used BetterHelp online therapy. And Sleep With Me listeners get 10% off their first month at betterhelp.com/sleepwithme. That's BetterHelp, BetterHelp.com/sleepwithme. Thanks, everybody.